Welcome to Kuala Lumpur, probably one of the most surprising cities I've visited in Southeast Asia so far. So in this video, I'm taking you with me to all the best things to do in 2 days and for first-timers, from the iconic landmarks to the prettiest spots in the city. I'll also share my first impressions, what surprised me, what confused me, and why Kuala Lumpur instantly became one of my favorite big cities in the region. So if you're planning your first trip to Malaysia, or you're already here and wondering what to do, here's your first take. Welcome back everyone, I'm Val, and in today's video I bring you the perfect 2 days itinerary for Kuala Lumpur. So let's get right to it. So we're in Kuala Lumpur now. It's actually my first time in Malaysia, so I'm very excited about this. Today is my first day, so I haven't seen absolutely anything from the city. I just arrived. I'm going to unpack, eat dinner, and that will be it. But I will stay 4 days in Kuala Lumpur, 3 nights, and I'm basically going to do anything in 2 days. It was a 4-hour flight from the Philippines, so I'm kind of tired. So tomorrow I will start doing everything, and I'll show you this itinerary for Kuala Lumpur. So as I said, I'm staying 4 days, but I'm going to do everything in 2. I woke up on the next day after arriving and I started seeing this amazing city. For breakfast, I ordered it to my accommodation and then directly took a Grab to my first stop, that was the Tian Hu Temple. This amazing place is a temple from the 1989 with 6 levels and a praying room that includes 3 altars. The entrance to the temple is free and the view from the city is totally worth it. After walking around the temple and taking pictures, I took another Grab to the biggest mosque in Kuala Lumpur, the Masjid Negara. If you don't know it, most of the population in Malaysia is Muslim, so you will see a lot of mosques all over the country, and that includes Kuala Lumpur. This particular mosque is the biggest and most amazing one, not only from the outside, but also from the inside. The National Mosque has a capacity for 15,000 people and is situated among 13 acres of land. The entrance to the mosque is free, and they will give you clothing to cover yourself, because remember that women need to cover their hair in Muslim places, so like mosques and everything. So they will give you the clothing, it is included, and they will let you enter free of charge. After the mosque, I went to the very city center to visit the Sri Maha Mariamman Temple, which is the oldest Hindu temple in Kuala Lumpur. It was founded in 1873 and is located at the very edge of Chinatown. To enter the temple, you will need to remove your shoes, but don't just remove them at the entrance like you will do in a Thai temple. You need to actually put them in a locker room that is located at the side of the main entrance. Even though it is the oldest Hindu temple in Malaysia, the initial atap structure was demolished in 1887 and a brick building was erected in its place. After that, the structure was also demolished to make way for the current temple building, which was completed in the 1968. So for day 1, I decided to check places in the city rather than going to the most popular place people go when they come to Kuala Lumpur. So I'm leaving that particular place for tomorrow. But if you want to do the itinerary the other way around, feel free to do so. So for today, we're only checking places in Kuala Lumpur in itself. Remember that I'm a slow traveler, so I'm not going to put too many places here in this city, but keep in mind that there are a lot of things to do here. Even if you only have 2 or 3 days like me to stay in Kuala Lumpur, but you have more time, there are tons of things that you can also do. So after visiting that amazing temple, I walked Petaling Street, which is very close by, which is basically Chinatown in Kuala Lumpur. The street is known for its bustling atmosphere, street food, and diverse market stalls. I would recommend Petaling Street for having lunch if you haven't had it on that first day, or buying your Kuala Lumpur souvenir. So let's talk a bit about logistics inside Kuala Lumpur. First, I'm going to tell you that the coin in this country is the Malaysian ringgit, and that just like in many Southeast Asian countries, it is very cheap. You can find food from between 15 to around 30 ringgit, depending on what you eat. As usual, having breakfast the Western style is going to be more expensive than eating Malaysian style. You can also find accommodation from around 60 Malaysian ringgit, a private room. Keep in mind that it's not going to be exactly close to the center, but that's fine. The city is very well connected through metro lines, buses, and Grab. So you can use Grab here. Keep in mind that you will only find Grab car instead of Grab motorcycle because the government hasn't approved of that here in Malaysia. So you will have to use car everywhere if you intend to hire a taxi. But it is also very affordable and the traffic is actually pretty well. You can try to look for accommodation near the Petronas Towers if you want, but that's going to be a little bit more pricey. Still, I feel that is inside a budget and it's very possible to stay in places like that. Finally, I walked around Merdeka Square, which is where the Sultan Abdul Samad building is located. The building originally housed the offices of the British colonial administration and was known simply as government offices in the early years. When I went, it was getting restored, so I couldn't see it from the inside, but it was still pretty amazing from the outside. Last spot that day was the River of Life, which is a very nice spot within the city where two rivers converged. It's also close to the Masjid Jamek, another popular mosque in Kuala Lumpur that you should also visit. I went there late, so it was already closed, but if you have time, definitely visit it. Tip, the River of Life actually looks amazing during the night because it has lights that decorate it. So as I mentioned before, I was leaving the best for the end, so I was trying to avoid the Petronas Towers at all costs, since I definitely wanted to be marveled by them when I actually went to visit them. So after that final walk, I took a metro back to my accommodation. Although if you don't want to end your night early, I would recommend you have dinner at Jalan Alor Food Street. It's the most popular market street in the city, and it comes alive every night with stalls and restaurants that serve Malaysian and Southeast Asian food. Everybody says that the food in there is delicious and very, very cheap. So I decided to leave what I consider are the most exciting places for day 2, so we're gonna check them out. And our first stop is the Batu Caves. You can actually take a train to here from Kuala Lumpur or a Grab. It's very easy and the entrance is free. Okay, I'm going to be real for this one. The Batu Caves are as majestic as they look in social media. The only issue is that people don't take proper care of them. The place has become so viral that it was completely full and the entire temple was dirty, especially inside in the caves. A lot of trash along the stairs and stuff like that. So you know what they say about viral places. They might be disappointing once you actually go there. Anyway, I still enjoyed the visit, so don't skip them. I got there by Grab but went back to Kuala Lumpur by train before going to my next stop, which was the KL Tower. The KL Tower is a telecommunications tower that is one of the tallest in the world and has a panoramic view of Kuala Lumpur at its top and a rotational restaurant. The tower has an entrance fee depending on which part do you want to access. It has an observation deck and a sky terrace and a glass box. The entrance to the sky terrace is 140 ringgit for foreigners and adults. Yes, the price for Malaysian people is also different. The observation deck is 80 ringgit for an adult, and they have a combo option to visit both for 180 ringgit. One amazing thing that you can do in the KL Tower is actually book dinner in the 360 restaurant that is at the top of the tower. It's a buffet and it's from 199 ringgit to 249 depending on if you go during the week or in the weekends. So after visiting the tower for that day, I just decided to find a simple coffee shop for lunch. But remember that Kuala Lumpur has a lot of food to offer. If you want something better to eat than my simple lunch, I would recommend you visit Damascus Bukit Bintang. It is one of the most popular restaurants in the entire city. Keep in mind that there is typically a queue, but the line moves fast. And finally, I left the best place for last. I walked, using Google Maps who took me to the wrong spot, lol, to that place I was looking forward the most, the Petronas Towers. And let me say that they just overcame my expectations. I'm going to tell you a story. A younger Val once dreamed of seeing that place when she saw it on one of those Windows lock screens from the computer, and in that moment, being just there almost brought tears to my eyes. Anyway, I didn't enter the towers because to do so you must book way in advance. Since it's one of the most famous spots in Kuala Lumpur, it gets booked really fast. So if you're planning on seeing Kuala Lumpur from up the towers, you should definitely book it before going. The prices to the towers also will vary depending on whether you're Malaysian or foreigner, the age, and whether you enter during weekdays, weekends, and during the evening. So for normal admission, that is during the day, on a weekday, for a foreigner adult, the price is 127 ringgit. On weekends is 137. For the evening experience, during weekdays, the entrance fee for a foreigner adult is 147 ringgit. And during the weekend is 157. So Kuala Lumpur was my first place in Malaysia and I was already loving the country. That city, just like Bangkok, combined perfectly modernity with tradition. And I suspected I was going to love the entire country after seeing Kuala Lumpur. Spoiler alert, it became my second favorite Southeast Asian country after Thailand. Malaysian people are super kind and the country is very affordable, so it is perfect for all kinds of travelers. If you have more time to visit Kuala Lumpur, there are a lot of other things you can do. So don't be afraid to give this city another couple of days if you want to. And that's all for today's video. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you like my content and to subscribe and turn on notifications so YouTube keeps helping us grow. Thank you so much for watching this video and I will see you all on the next trip.